and welcome to my channel. Today I have a super exciting video. I'm doing a collaboration with Millie, aka Bad to the Brow. If you're watching this video or subscribed to me, I'm willing to bet that you know who she is, but just in case you don't, she was one of the very first creators that I'm aware of who was making content about multichrome, specifically indie makeup, sparkly, shifty eyeshadow, and a ton of other things too. She does a series on her channel called Multichrome Monday where she will do content like specifically dedicated to multichrome. She has a ton of content on her YouTube channel. She does a lot of swatches, comparisons, reviews, just overall really helpful content and entertaining to watch. And on Instagram, she does more short form content. She does like tutorials, looks, and just showcasing like ways to use different multichromes and just like beautiful photography. I love her to death. I'm so glad we've become friends through me screaming into the void about multichromes. She's been so supportive and helpful and just amazing to have as a friend in this community. So needless to say, when she asked if I was interested in collabing, I was super excited, and this is the idea we came up with. So we decided to each pick 10 multichromes or duochromes that we would recommend for spring. I told her my picks just to make sure we didn't have any overlap, but I have no idea what her picks are going to be, and I'm super excited to see what they are. I have them in a cute little gradient. There's a few different brands in here. I'm just going to go in order of how I have them laid out, and I'll talk to you a bit about each one, why I like it, why I would recommend it. I didn't include any eyeshadows from my collab in this simply because I would recommend them year-round, 24/7, 365. I just picked eyeshadows that specifically give me spring vibes. I mean, I'm not really someone who changes my makeup depending on the season necessarily, but I do really like to take inspiration from what's going on around me, and you know, the transition from winter to spring, it gets me really hyped to wear pastels and like bright colorful tones. Let's start off. This one is called Dangerous from Shine by SD, and this is a yellow. So it has a yellow base, and then there's like sparkles mixed into it that shift from green to teal to blue, and I see like a purple pink shift too. The reason why I really love this one is because I've talked about this quite a few times, but it's so hard to find a yellow eyeshadow where you actually see that yellow coming through, and this is just like a super bright sunshine primary yellow. So it's a bit of a drier formula, which is something you'll find with most eyeshadows from Shine by SD. I have a collaboration with Shine by SD, which I referenced earlier. While this is not part of it, and I will not benefit at all if you like buy one of the Shine by SD shades I mentioned, I just always like to lead with that because, I mean, obviously I'm a little bit biased towards the brand. But anyway, yeah, I just really like this eyeshadow. This is part of their Hidden Gems collection. A few people have bought this based on my recommendation because whenever I get questions asking about like a yellow eyeshadow that actually shows up yellow, this is my go-to. Okay, next up, this is the other Shine by SD shade I have. This is called Think I'm Crazy. This is from their Fantasy collection, and I've never heard anyone besides me talk about this eyeshadow, so I think it's pretty underhyped. Okay, so this is a semi-sheer lime green that shifts from gold to green to teal to blue. If you watched my Clionadh video, I referred to the Luxe family as like all the shades that have these specific shifts. So this is in this family, and I like it because it is like distinctly a green, but as you can see, it does kind of like sheer out. I'm not like a huge fan of like a super intense green eyeshadow, so I think this like satisfies the green. Still is like super shifty and not like completely opaque in the base. It's giving like Enchanted Garden, and I just love it so much. Gotten a lot of views out of this, and I never see anyone talk about it. I really enjoy it, and I think almost all of these I bought myself. I think maybe one or two I received in PR, so I'll let you know which ones those are. But so far, the two from Shine by SD I did purchase myself. This is Coalescence from Terra Moons. Ew. And this is another green that I actually really enjoy. So this is what I would describe as being like the green sibling to the Cosmos. And by that I mean, if you're familiar with the Cosmos, it has like a pretty chunky texture, but I find it to be a lot nicer and easier to work with than the newer chunky shades from Terra Moon. It has that like vibrant green base that is not fully opaque, but then it has shifts from pink to gold to green to teal. And I'm working on my Terra Moons video. I'm filming all the B-roll swatches now, so I promise it'll be up soon. I'm aiming to have it up this month. But I will certainly compare like all of the shades that are in this like shift family. I just think this is also giving me that like enchanted garden fairy vibe, similar to Think I'm Crazy. And I really, really love the way this looks on the eyes. This type of chunky texture from Terra Moons, I absolutely love. I don't like their newer chunky shades from the last couple of releases. Talked about that quite a few times if you watch my other videos. But yeah, this is just a really fun shade. And I love that it's not fully opaque, but it still has that like pink to green vibe. Okay, this shade is called Laser from Glam Shop. My friend Cassie, a makeup journey on Instagram, who you should follow by the way, she said in a post, like, I don't know what color this is. And I agree. I don't know what color this is. Is it pink? Is it blue? Is it purple? We don't know. I love this shade. It's like a very, very sparkly, but not necessarily super textured eyeshadow. And so here I'm going to attempt to describe it to you. Has, I think, like a muted pink base. And then it has intense teal sparkles on top that shift to blue, purple, and then it kind of goes into that pink that's in the base. This is one of their Turbo Glow shades, and I don't know of any dupes to this. I find this to be a pretty unique shade to my collection. I love the formula of this. It's not like squishy, but at the same time, it's not like super chunky or flaky. Like, it's really easy to work with, especially if you are more of a beginner. Glam Shop is really expensive to ship to the US right now, but maybe if you are in the EU and you haven't tried Glam Shop, you could check it out. This shade is called Nerds from Devinah. This is like a very pastel sky blue, and it has a lot of pale gold. Shifts from a pale gold to like pale green to that blue. This one I love because it is that like pale sky blue when you have it by itself, like swatched pretty opaquely, but it also shears out to like this beautiful soft gold. And I've talked before how I'm not like a huge fan of gold eyeshadow, but this type of pale gold I absolutely love. When you layer it over different things, it really takes on what you're using it with, and I love eyeshadows that have that quality. I really like this formula from Devinah. I think it's really easy to work with, and this just like particular type of sky pastel blue just really screams spring to me. Next, this is called Galactic Blossom from Terra Moon, and this is like a peachy orange that has the same shifts as this shade Think I'm Crazy from Shine by SD. So it's like gold to green to teal to blue. If you have the right lighting and you go on an extreme angle, you can see a little bit of purple too, I would say. This one, I guess technically I received in PR. They like randomly included it when I made an order as like an add-on. I actually didn't purchase this because I thought it would be too similar to shades like Unexplainable from Shine by SD or Terra's from Terra Moons or ones like that. But the orange really does show through, and it's just such a beautiful like peachy orange. It's super shiny. I love shades like this that are so shiny and shifty, but they're not like super opaque. I know I talk about this all the time. This just like soft peachy tone with these shifts really gives spring to me. Like, it would pair really well with a pastel look too. Okay, this shade is called Lotus Moon from Ensley Rain Cosmetics, and this one I received in PR from the brand from one of their more recent collections. Actually, I think it came out last year, but I just got around to posting about it not too long ago. So how do I describe this? I don't know. Got a lot going on. It's like almost like a soft gray base, but I wouldn't consider it, this is going to sound crazy unless you're like this far in the rabbit hole with me, but it has like a gray, almost a gray to it, but I wouldn't consider it a gray based multichrome. If you know, you know, but it's pretty textured, but not flaky. It's just got like some dimensional pieciness to it. It's shifts from like hot pink to orange to gold to green. And I don't know if it's translating how unique this is, but I think just because of the texture and that like kind of weird grayness to it. Some of you probably know I like shades that are a little bit weird and kind of like If you know the origin of Ice Blink, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I like when there's something unexpected and bizarre. And this, I think, has that. It's like a weird, soft, pastel grunge moment, but it's also super vibrant from some angles. I really, really like this formula. I don't know that I would recommend every shade in this collection, but this one was absolutely a standout to me. Okay, so the last 3 shades are all from Clionadh, and they're all, just in case you're new here, I repanned all of my Clionadh shades, so that's why they're in circle pans. They normally come in rectangles, like the stained glass rectangles that you see. Follow Faces by Gina and check her out if you are not familiar with repanning. She is like the #1 resource. Love you, Gina. Okay, so this is the last of the ones that I received in PR. So these 3 right here were PR, the rest I purchased myself. This is Renaissance from Clionadh. So this is like a soft pink that shifts to like a peach and a soft gold. And I feel like maybe I'm missing something. I feel like I see a tiny bit of purple from some angles. Like maybe you can kind of see here. But I would say the primary shifts are to like pink, peach, gold. But the thing that I think makes this super special is the formula. So this is part of the pearlescent range of Multichromes that came out in the stained glass expansion, and this is just like such a unique and beautiful formula. It's exactly how they just see. You can see the purple. Hold on. So you can kind of see that purple like right at the really harsh angle, but again, I wouldn't like count on that being apparent in every single lighting. Yeah, the thing that makes this special is the formula. It looks like a literal pearl. It's so beautiful on the eyes. Like, I don't always like care if my eyeshadow is flattering. I just like to be extra. But it does, I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good on the eyes. So I absolutely live for a soft pink moment, and this is just like a perfect pastel. I'm interested in picking up some more shades from the pearlescent line, but honestly they all look really similar to me, so I don't know. But maybe if they come out with like, imagine if they came out with like a lilac, ooh, I would buy that. Okay. This next shade is called Glazed. Ew. It's called Glazed. And I always think of Haute Mess Tom now whenever I use this shade, because we had a moment I used it in like swatches or a palette or something, and then they were like, oh my god, I need to use that. So then they use it in a look, and then I use it in a look because I like their look. And it was just a cute little moment we had. This is like it's hard to describe. It's like a lavender lilac that shifts to a pink, to peach, to gold. And maybe you can see a little, kind of right here, you can see a little bit of green. But again, I have like my ring light set up, so I'm just showing every possible shift you can see. I feel like it's really unique. Like, it's a cool tone, but then the shifts are very warm and soft. I don't know any other word to describe these other than like ethereal fairy garden princess. So that's what I would say. It almost has like a pearlescent quality to it, but it's more textured and glittery and sparkly. But I would say I think I did say this in my Clionadh video, this is one of my absolute top recommendations from Clionadh. I just find it to be a very unique, like, pastel purple shade. Now, the last one I have here is Enamel from Clionadh. This is like a soft indigo base, and it shifts to purple and pink. And the reason why I included this is because it does look like pretty vibrant in the pan, but it swatches out to be a lot softer, and it has almost like a UV-like quality to it. This is a glitter multichrome, but I don't know that I would consider it like super glittery. I don't find it to be very textured at all, and on most other people, it does look a lot lighter and more sheer. I don't know if it's because of the undertones of my skin or what. On my eyes, it's just like a very striking indigo to purple moment without being like super overpowering. It's hard to describe, but it's also really fun to like play around with layering over different bases or just combining with different colors. And while I would say it's not as distinctly pastel as the other ones here, it still gives spring vibes to me, just because of how like vibrant and fun it is. I don't know how to describe it. So yeah, that's about it for my recommendations. So maybe should I just swatch them all together? That might be fun. So we have Dangerous from Shine by SD. Think I'm Crazy from Shine by SD. Coalescence from Terra Moons. Laser from Glam Shop. Nerds from Devinah. Ew. Let's go this way. Enamel from Clionadh. Glazed from Clionadh. Renaissance from Clionadh. See what I mean about how the textures are somewhat similar? Lotus Moon from Ensley. And last but not least, we have Galactic Blossom from Terra. So here are all 10 swatched together. I just think they are so cute together and so perfect for spring. Let me know, do you have any favorites out of these? Do you own any, or just from looking at them, which one do you like the most? Let me know which eyeshadows are your favorite for spring, whether it's singles, eyeshadows in palettes, or entire palettes in general. Chat about it in the comments. If you haven't already watched Millie's video, go watch it now. I'm really excited to see what she picks. And thank you so much, Millie, for inviting me to collab with you. This was really fun to film and just chat about my favorite spring multi-chromes. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'd love to discuss this more in the comments with you. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to my channel. Please give this video a thumbs up if you had fun watching it. Any discount codes or affiliate codes will be in the description, along with a link to Millie's video if you haven't watched it already. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!